Hi, welcome to Young Adult Literature, LSSL 5385 for the fall 2013 semester. This is Dr. Lassane, and this is the first in a series of screencasts that I hope will walk you step by step through the materials and the assignments for the course, and hopefully answer your questions before you even think of asking them. To begin, I have put all of the materials that you'll need for class, all of the directions, up in a live binder. You can find that by going to www.livebinders.com. All of this material will also be available at Blackboard. The problem with Blackboard is it will not be available to you until the semester officially starts. By putting it here at Live Binders, you'll actually have an opportunity to get started early, should you care to do so. Certainly to start collecting the books and materials that you'll need, start planning your calendar accordingly. So it's all up here, and eventually it will be all over at Blackboard as well. Blackboard is where you will submit all of your assignments, but information about the assignments will be here. What you'll need to do if you don't already have an account with Live Binders is once you get there, sign in, set up an account, and then you will take the URL that I've given you, and I'll provide that through LibSci, so you'll be able to see that. The key will be LSSL space 5385, in other words, the number for the course. And you'll find that, and you'll click to open it. And when you open it, you're going to see basically the structure of the live binder, which emulates a real binder, if you will. There are tabs. You see them here: beginning steps, syllabus, assignments. And then under those tabs, there are sub-tabs. In this case, for beginning steps, getting started, due dates, and screencasts. When you click on these various tabs, it'll show you the information that's available to you, and you'll be able to read the directions for doing the various assignments. You'll be able to see when assignments are due. You'll be able to basically get a head start. And so this first screencast, I just really want to talk to you about what you can do to get started before class actually begins. And that's one of the tabs right here. Notice under beginning steps, it says get started. So click on that, and it will open and show you a Word document. Click on the Word document, and of course it'll ask if you want to open it or if you'd like to save it in some way. I only need to open it because obviously I have these documents already on hand, but you might want to save these files as you're opening them, putting them on your desktop, putting them on a flash drive, so you always have access to them as you need them during the course of a day or a week or a month. When you click on it, what you will see are my suggestions as to what you can do before Blackboard is officially open and the semester gets underway. So I have these really in no particular order, but you might just kind of start with one and work your way down the list. The first instructs you that if you don't have a Twitter account, you need to get one. One of the assignments for the course involves you not only having a Twitter account, but actually using your Twitter account. So go to twitter.com and sign up for an account if you don't already have one. Once your account is active, you need to then start following people, and one of the people that you follow is me. My screen name on Twitter is Professor Nana, and we're going to talk about how you build a personal learning network at Twitter. I'll discuss how to do this not only in the syllabus, but at LiveBinder and some of the directions for the assignment. So get into Twitter, start kind of noodling around, following people. I know that if you're not careful, Twitter can take up an awful lot of your time and seem to be something that doesn't really have an awful lot of information for you as a school librarian. But if you'll be patient, if you'll follow the directions for Twitter, if you'll participate in the Twitter chats that you're going to have throughout the semester, I think you'll begin to see how social networking can assist you in your job as a teacher, if that's what you are right now, but eventually as a school librarian. The next thing you need to do is to set aside 2 of these dates for you to participate in an online Twitter chat. It's called Title Talk, and as the title suggests, it's a time when a bunch of us come together, teachers, librarians, professors, parents, you name it, we're there, and we talk about books and reading and what we can do to get kids excited about books and reading. Those Twitter chats are the last Sunday of every month, and they occur between the hours of 7 and 8 p.m. Central Time, so that's our time. You need to attend 2 of these Twitter chats. So I've given them to you here: August 25th, September 29th, October 27th, and November 24th. It's probably easier if you attend the earlier chats than the later one, so that you won't be so far behind when it's time to actually do the social networking assignment that we'll talk about later in a different screencast. But look at those dates right now. They're Sunday evenings. Generally, those are good times for me, but they may not be good time for you. But you do need to attend at least 2 of those dates. There is no excuse if you're not there, and I can't tell that you're there. You don't get credit for being there. So make a commitment now to the 2 dates that you're going to try to do. It makes sense for me to tell you that you should order the textbook for the class. It's available from the campus bookstore, from online booksellers, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, in both new and used editions. It's also available from the publisher, Stenhouse. It's available in ebook format as well from the online stores, and that means you can download it and have it there immediately. If you're not going to download it, if you're going to order a hard copy, please, please, please keep in mind that anytime you order from campus bookstores, Barnes & Noble, doesn't matter, that it's going to take sometimes as many as 2 to 3 weeks for the book to reach you. So if you want to have it in your hand, available to you to begin working on the different assignments for the course, it's probably a good time right now to order that book. I have it in downloaded form myself as well as a hard copy. You'll see references to particular pages in the book. I can't tell you how to find those exact pages in the online edition, but you should be able to identify them by the different chapter titles. So you can kind of work. Do keep in mind that if you live close to somebody else in the class, you can hand that book back and forth as reading assignments are made. As one person finishes with an assignment, another person can pick up the book. But I also caution you right now that it's illegal to copy textbooks. That's certainly something that in your library science classes, I hope you've learned if you haven't learned that beforehand. So once you've got the textbook and your Twitter account, which I consider kind of basic things to do at the start, you need to start looking at the list of required young adult titles that you're going to be reading for class. All of these titles will be read by every person in the class. Each of the books is available in paperback. Some are available in ebook format, some are available in audiobook format, and if you would prefer, you can certainly read them using an e-reader, or you can read them with your ears, meaning listen to the audiobook. That's totally up to you. I think it makes sense as you're gathering these books to begin with the first set of books that you're going to read, and I'll show you what those are, and then kind of moving on to the second and third and final sets of books. Most of these books should be available from good public and school libraries. They're multiple award winners or considered classics in the field. If you can't find them where you are, consider using interlibrary loan, which you can activate through Sam Houston State University. But it is your responsibility to locate copies of these books. If you have trouble, I would suggest using the email feature of Blackboard to send an email to your classmates saying, does anybody have a copy of the graphic novel of Twilight? If you're done with it, may I please borrow it? And make your arrangements that way. Please do not contact me. I cannot help you in any way. I do not have copies to loan out. So get a hold of the books as soon as you can. Next, if you don't already have a TK20 account, which is unlikely, given the fact that most of you have already taken 5370, but if you don't have a TK20 account, please make arrangements to do that, because TK20 is required for this course, and if you do not take care of getting the TK20 account and submitting the work that is required to the TK20 account, you will lose a full letter grade at the end of the semester. And sometimes, unfortunately, that's enough to drop you to a failing grade. It's really important that you take care of this and you take care of it immediately. I have posted to LibSci, our Yahoo discussion group, and also here at LiveBinder, the order in which books will be read and used for discussion, so you can certainly refer to that. Due dates are also posted in the document that shows the order in which books are to be read. If possible, please hold your questions about this particular course until the Blackboard course itself is open. That's the beginning of the semester. Bear in mind that while some of you are on summer vacation, I am in the middle of teaching my second summer session, and I've got 2 classes right now that I'm responsible for. I'm trying to get these materials out to you in advance because I know that some of you have some time right now to begin work, but I honestly do not have a lot of time other than getting these materials up. So unless it's just an absolutely burning question, please hold that off till the fall. And finally, mark your calendars right now with the due dates provided. Bear in mind that I don't accept late work. I just don't. And you need to make sure that you have these due dates etched in stone. They're due on midnight of the days that they're assigned, and all of those should be a Friday if I've done it correctly. So you know that probably each and every Friday in the semester you're going to have an assignment due. If for some reason something comes up that has nothing to do with hardware or software problems on your part, but something that truly is an emergency situation, please get in touch with me right away. I can certainly make exceptions if I find that the reasons are compelling, but if you don't get in touch with me, I can't do anything. I do not take late work. I do not have extra credit assignments, so it's really important that you get things turned into me on time. The second page of this particular document talks about how to approach and read the young adult books that are required for class. And basically, they're just some guidelines that I think will do you, stand you in good stead as you're preparing to do the different assignments for the class. It gives you some kind of generic things that you can do in terms of taking notes, making bibliographic information available to you. So it's all right here in terms of the general guidelines. The one thing I want to say specifically about this is that while the reading is quite a heavy load, and I understand that it is. You're going to be reading 30 books over the course of the semester. That's a lot of reading, and I understand that. That you are to read these as you would read a book for pleasure. There are no exams over these books, so never will I ask you to match a character to a book or do any of that kind of stuff. Instead, you're going to be using these books to talk about how to motivate kids to read. You're going to be using them to discuss what's going on in the textbook. So you should read them at a pace in which you would do your leisure reading. If you know, for example, that you are a very slow reader, and we're all aware of how we read and the rate at which we read. So if you know right now that this is going to be a challenge, you need to start clearing out chunks of time on the weekends and in the evenings to get to these books. It is imperative that you read each and every one of these books, not skim them, not look at reviews, not anything else. You need to read them. Bear in mind that more than 6,000 books come out each and every year for pre-K through 12 audience. 6,000. You're reading 30. And that's not a big number in the grand scheme of things. And it's certainly not a big number if your school library position ends up being at a secondary level. And that's really anything above 4th grade. So I really implore you right now, find the books, start reading the books, and I hope enjoying the books. I've selected them for particular reasons. That's something I'll talk about in a subsequent screencast when I go through the syllabus with you. And I think that they're enjoyable books. They may not all be your cup of tea, but that's okay. They do represent a wonderful cross-section of the absolute wealth of books that are available for kids out there. So I hope that this short introduction here will kind of get you started, help you get underway before the class actually begins. and give you a sense of what it is that we're going to be doing this semester. Again, if I can be of any assistance, you can email me, you can call me. I just ask that you wait a couple more weeks until this semester's over and we start looking ahead to the fall semester. Welcome to Young Adult Literature.